Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my channel. Today I will be explaining about how to make a calculator using LED and a keypad and an Arduino. This is an Arduino, simple Arduino code that we would be using I have been using AVR Microchip Studio or Atmos Studio over here, and this is in language C. So let's get started with it. So in this, I would be creating a header file of LCD. If you do not want it, you can also add this whole header file inside the main code, but it kind of gets very lengthy. So I've added it into the separate folder of header file. You can make as many functions as you want and as you like in your header file, but I have been made few functions that I would be explaining over here, and I'll be telling you how to make the header file and how this function would work. So let's start with it. First of all, this is a basic syntax of starting a header file in def, then I define the header file, then I have the basic parameters of defining the starting with the code of first giving it speed, then giving the AVI IO header file, and then I have added delay header file. If you're using counter and timers and you want to use to make your own delay function, you can also make it. But there is a installed built-in library in AVRs that is named as delay that can easily. By this, you can easily use how much ever you delay you want. Then I have defined my enable RS and RW pins that are on the LED, and I have connected it to port to pin 4 to pin 3 and pin A. These are all port A pins as the A suggests it. So let's get forward with that code. I have then defined all of the functions that I would be using separately: command, in, data string, shift left, shift right. First with the command. First with the command is port A if the enable is 1 or RS is 0 or RW is 0. If all of these conditions are true, then this command be whatever the command will be that would be given away would be displayed in the port C. Then there will be 100 milliseconds delay, and then port A would again enable that would be high, that would be converted into low again. Then it is initialize int command in LCD int command. In this LCD command is called out with using 30, then 1, then 14, and then 80 parameters. This in command is used in basically is used in phase to enable pin as high low, when to give it high, then when to give it low, for when to get ahead. These commands are displayed on the port A, and whenever it touches the enable pin of port A, it turns on. Because as there is no switch over there, so we shouldn't be always turning enable 1 and 2. This command helps in it. Then there is data command to display it. Then if port enable, then again enable pin is high, on RS pin is high. RW pin is always 0, mostly in cases if you do not even connect it to the port, you can simply connect it with the ground. So whatever the how what data will be, it would be displayed in port C. Then again it would be then it pin would be turned low, but RS pin would remain high. Then LCD string function. In this, whatever the string we write, it would be displayed in the string. And then again this delay command. Then shift left. So shift left and shift right are the commands when the LCD converts this shift from its left side and then converts back to the right side. You can either write on to the left or to the right. That is your choice. And by this command, these two commands, you can use it. In this function specifically, we would not be using it, but if you want, you can use it. So this is the main code of calculator. So first, again, with the parameters, I've done it delay function. Then I have added math.h function header file. Now, what is this header file? What does it does? It does that it helps us to find into solving different math functions like addition, subtraction, and etc. Then there is header file of that we have added already. Header file, this LCD display header file. Then I have named all the pins of the LCD over here with D0 is connected to PC0, D1 is connected to PC1, V2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this. Likewise, they are connected to the pins of the port C. Then I've again mentioned divine RW and EN pins. If you want, you cannot just simply omit this function. It wouldn't be of any use. Then in int b, what have I done? I have declared these all pins and output pins. The port B declared DDRB 1 to pin 0 is output, then pin 1 is output, 2, 3, 4, it's to till 3 it's output, and till 4 to 7 is input. Now the data direction would be written as 1 to the neighbor. Okay. Then after this, I have made an array in which I have stored my value over 1, 2, 4, 8, 10, 20, 40, and the character is A. Then I have made LCD command that I had in this LCD. I have called it out and shifted it to the cursor to the right. This is 0 cross 4 4. I shifted it to the right to make it 0. Then port B is X3. All of these commands are displayed over here, is stored in port B. Then what I've called the initial function that I have shown you that in the header file that how it should be working. Then a while loop if port B is equals to X is equals to 0. Then what will happen if first of all we have declared X is equals to 0 with 0. Then we have chosen it's 4 1, and when it's 4 1 will be A would be 1 and the data would be A. Then then in then with the data 1 would be displayed. Then if 5, then 2 will be displayed, 6, 3 will be displayed, and then we have used it's like a column. If I explain you betterly, it's like working like we have a calculator like this. It has 3 rows or 4 rows to 3 columns. After this, the resistors are added to it. Here, switches are added. Yes, 1 minute. I will show you the original display. Okay, so present over here, this is like the keypad, and this is this inner space. So what happens that whenever any of these pins is pressed, this button is pressed, it completes the pass and it would be going to the venue. Just like this, if I press this, so what would it was? It would go from C1 is pressed always positive. It would go from here, check out which one is pressed so positive over here. As it is this is positive, it will create a path that will get is completed and simply go to R1. So just like this, it will be implemented. So similarly, I have created 3 functions for 3 rows. For 4 rows, 4 rows I've created um 4 rows. I've created functions like this, 4 loops, and they were defining its identity. The function in it is same just depending upon the rows and columns I'm using. It depends on here. And like this x value is also increasing. This x value represents the lowest number of rows. First one was 0, second one is 1, third one is 2, and fourth one is 3. So this like these are when these are initiated, after this what we do, we go for addition and subtraction functions, and we simply declare the function the header file that I use, the math header file comes in handy at that time, and that time we just have to include two integers and just do the addition, and that's it for the function. I've also So this is the one simple function. You can also make it on Fruity.js. Like over here, I've connected the LCD. You can see that I've directly connected the LCD to the ground. You can also do that. I would simply because we need to add a calculator, and this function would be deformed absolutely well. Thank you very much, Indra.